Happy New Year, everybody. I kept the snow on just because it's still kind of snowy here, even though it has been kind of rapidly sleeting and melting. Hello, Shark. Welcome. Happy to see you here. Happy New Year. It's been a weird New Year so far, in more ways than one, I'm sure. You know that. But for me, I was supposed to have been in LA this past weekend for work, and I got sick, so I did not. To answer your question, how am I? I'm doing better now. I was meant to be helping out with a video shoot that we were doing for another one of our famously hilarious font awesome videos that we make. So I was going to be helping with that shoot, and then that was going to be flying out on the 2nd. And I, like the night before, I started getting like a weird headache and like some throat stuff, and I was like, oh no. Wake up the next day, got a fever, I'm coughing a ton, and then also it is snowing here, and there's like an hour and a half delay on all flights leaving. So my flight had already been delayed once, like the night before. Like my flight was supposed to leave at like 7 something in the morning, and the night before I had already gotten an alert that was like, hey, it's going to be delayed already. And so I had to rebook because I was going to miss my connection. And so then I woke up the next day and just canceled the whole thing because, yeah. So now I still have some congestion. You may be able to tell in my voice. But we are finally on the mend, thankfully. But like almost 100% of the new year has me been sick so far. But now we're here. It's fun to be back. This is a stream I'd actually thought about doing between Christmas and New Year's, because I did have a little bit of time, but I decided to just rest and chill with the fam and everything. So that was very good. Did not actually get any of the small personal projects that I had thought about getting done over the break done, which is probably good because I was able to actually like unplug and chill. I did a lot of reading. I played a lot of Switch. Hey Ty, welcome. Happy New Year. I was just talking about how I've been sick for the last few days. Also played hella Switch. Very awesome. I started playing Signalis over the break, which is not my usual jam, because it's more in the like survival horror sort of genre, but the aesthetics are unmatched, and it is so good. And since it is kind of a top-down view, like there is some level of separation. I don't feel as threatened playing that. So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun though. But now I've been getting back into Mario Kart a little bit with the kiddo as well. So the Switch has been getting a workout recently. So what were you playing, Ty? Curious. I'm always on the lookout for. Bought and beat Animal Well. Yes. Good use of quotes there for Animal Well. Now I'm pretty far into Hollow Knight. Oh, Hollow Knight. I wish I could go back and play Hollow Knight again for the first time. It's so good. I've kind of bounced off of Silksong, unfortunately. I don't know that I have the level of dedication required to get good at it. I may revisit at a later date. I love Silksong so much, and I want to be better at it. This is my second attempt. I played 60 minutes the first time and tried to play it. It's so good. Hollow Knight is definitely like a top 5 game for me. Just tried the original Hollow Knight. So fantastic. It's so good. Ugh. Yeah. Hollow Knight. I mean, I love Hollow Knight. I got my little vessels. My little buddies. Now I need to see if this, I don't know if this, this artisan makers, oh wait, this is where Wire did. Maybe they're going to do this. I don't know. It'd be cool if they did a Hornet artisan at some point. My buddy swears by Silk Song. It definitely scratches a certain itch for certain people. The thing is, and I saw a good analysis, I think this might have been on Min-Max or something, and they were talking about, games of the past year and all that. And my game time is fairly limited. I have a little bit of time after my kid goes to sleep. Except on nights like this, of course. And so the amount of using that little bit of time to smash my head against a boss 5 times and fail and then have to do a bunch of runbacks and be miserable hasn't worked out for me in the amount of time that I have. If I had hours to spend, maybe I could because when I first got into Silk Song, I think when I first downloaded it, I was on a trip. I was on a work trip. And so I was on the airplane and in the airport, and I could plug in my Switch, and I was just had those chunks of time to do that. But yeah, he really loves hard video games. Oh, okay. So is he big into FromSoft and that sort of thing? That's one of my only frames of reference for difficult games, or that difficulty is kind of a hallmark of the genre. It was so nice having 2 weeks off so I could actually play video games. Yeah. Yeah, I actually, between doing Signalis, I actually spent more time playing I played this with my kiddo a little bit too, which is it reminds me of Animal Crossing a little bit, but it's a Picross puzzle game where you're solving Picross puzzles, which I like anyway, and then they turn into household items that you're decorating this mouse's house with. And so she was helping me decide where to put furniture and stuff, and then I was doing the actual puzzle solving. But he's done level 1 runs for all of them. Love Souls games. Souls games are my favorite games of all time. I like watching people play Souls games. I don't know that they're my kind of genre, but I like what FromSoft's doing. I love a lot of the lore, especially I've watched a lot of lore videos about Elden Ring because I like that, and I've enjoyed watching people play. But I don't know that they're for me to play necessarily. Bloodborne was my first platinum on PlayStation. It was Torture Unlimited. Bloodborne is exceptionally cool, I have to say. Him and I are doing a seamless co-op SL1 run of DS3 right now. So that's Dark Souls 3, yes? You cool kids and your acronyms. That's how I started too, just saying. Yeah. That was interesting. It was interesting seeing some of the palpable disappointment, though. I feel what was it? What was that most recent FromSoft thing that was announced that everyone thought was going to be Bloodborne 2? And then it wasn't. And everyone just going ah! It's another another multiplayer thing, yeah? Duskbloods, that's the one. Well, I'm glad you're excited. Most of what I heard from some of the die-hard FromSoft people in my life were that they were very upset that it was not another Bloodborne. You platinumed Elden Ring too, Sucker for Punishment. What about Night Rain? Can you platinum that? Because that's a very different kind of structure, yeah? You trust them completely? That is nice to have those kinds of studios in your life, that it's just whatever it is, they know what they're doing, I trust them. I feel those are becoming fewer and farther between for me. Remedy's probably one of the only ones. Even though I never did play Firebreak, I'd heard that was kind of a wash, but everything else of theirs I've loved. But it's a good question. I played it on PC a bit, didn't really get into it as much. Yeah. Because it's more of it's not a battle royale. But it has some of that kind of Fortnite influence, right? Like there's some kind of like closing thing and you have to beat some bosses and whatever. There's some of that Battle Royale DNA baked into it. Anyway, I love talking about video games. We can keep talking about video games, but we're also here to talk about keycaps. Because we, on the last stream, during our 100 follower giveaway extravaganza, we sorted a bunch, which I have even sorted further since then, just because I needed to break it down into some more granular categories. I was very nervous about Duskbloods until I played Night Rain. It's so fun. That's cool. Another thing that I don't have the luxury of is multiplayer games currently. But maybe eventually again. I know we've talked about Arc Raiders briefly on stream before, because I would love to give that a try too, but I just don't have the online dedicated time for that yet. Maybe eventually. By the time it's not popular anymore. Once all the youths aren't on it anymore. Cool. So let's look at what we got. Well, let's see. Play multiplayer games for 3 hours once a week. That's about it. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be the thing. It'd be something I would need to carve out, kind of like I carve out streaming time. To be specifically for that. There was a time when I was able to do that with Helldivers too, a little bit, with a couple friends of mine here. And then of course life stuff came up and that group kind of dissolved. And so I haven't played Helldivers in a long time and just don't really get into stuff. Even though the matchmaking was pretty good, if I remember right. It wasn't bad, so. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk keycaps. There's also, actually, let me see if I can get this to function. There's some new fun stuff coming down the pipe, if it's not already. Boink. In the world of keyboard stuff, GMK Foundation just came back, which is very cool. Yay. Yeah, I ended up on a little splurge. I went in for the MT New bass and the MT New accents. Using some of that Christmas money, you know. Just because I do like MT New, but I only have the 2 sets. And so I would like to get this to be maybe a nice neutral option for MT New. They've also got a new, like the first DCS set I've seen them run in a hot minute. DCS Super Weld is on there, which is some fun colorways. I feel like it would actually look really nice on the DNWorks 7 I just got. But I actually just sent that off this morning to get built by our buddy Evan. Extra Prius, please. Yet to try MT New. It's nice. It's what I wish MT3 was. And this is my own personal preferences, just because I don't like... with MT3, I don't like the edges. The edges feel a little too sharp to me, the edges of the scoops. And as far as like high profile stuff I don't like MT3 as much as I like SA. So I like that spherical, but I like how low it is. And I like the feel of it. I like the texture of MT New quite a bit as well. So it's nice. And I've also really come to a lot of the EC builds that I've tried recently at like the NK Meetup and other places have been using MT New, and the combination of the feel and the sound with like Dynacap and other EC components is really nice. And I'm looking to do more EC this year, so I want to get more MT New in the mix. Speaking of, we got to link up soon, so I can give you a minute. Oh yeah, I've got the Nixies right here. I have them set aside, as well as the one Windows key that we found so that I could give it to you. But yeah, I've got my Nixies. Yeah, we can meet up. Great, now I have to get an MT News set. You don't have to, but I mean, I like having options for a lot of these keycap sets. I think that PBS would also sound really good on EC. And I've got a couple PBS sets. So I think either or. Wish I could have had them done before the 7 and convince you to solder cherries. I'm not soldering them. I sent all that off to Evan this morning. But maybe eventually I'll tell you what. After you get them correct for me, I'll ask for your input in a future solder build this year, since I'm going to be starting to solder. So, yeah, one of the only things actually that's standing in the way of me soldering right now, because I do have the iron and some of the other stuff. I need to get solder first off, and a couple other little bits. I really want to get the yellow Kato smoke absorber, like the fume extractor. But it is sold out on their website and everywhere else I've been able to find it, except Amazon. And I refuse to use Amazon. I have not used Amazon in years, and I am not about to start now, just for a smoke absorber. I was on your list, you didn't get it, I'm sorry. Kato does make another version that they do have on their website, but it's like this giant, like, flexible hose thing, and it would just take up way too much space. It's a nice yellow, but that's not enough of a saving grace. So that I'm kind of stuck at the moment, unless I want to try out some other version or something. They do have some on eBay, but I'm like, some of them look kind of sketchy as far as, like, you know, a user that just started 3 months ago, even though they have 100% rating or whatever. It's like, it's not worth it. So anyway, that is a weird tangent. Let's get back to other stuff. What else did I have on my list that I found interesting? Oh, the DCS UFO is starting very soon. They just updated... Whoops, DCS UFO. Keycap. They just updated the kitting and a bunch of stuff. Basil did. Which... I don't know why I like this set so much, but I do. I'm a sucker for DCS, though. But it's also kind of fun because it's the Cherry Legends. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Yeah, it's the Cherry Legend version of DCS, which is fun. So I think I am going to pick this up, and it's just really cute. It might be fun to put that on the event horizon, actually. But that's coming up very soon. That's going to be in February. They announced a date for that. There's a new interest check for that as well, if you are interested, if you want to give any feedback on it. DCS root beer, which I don't think I have any. I think that's only in Darian's server. There'll be a new brownish DCS set coming out, which is pretty cool. DCS orange on beige. That's a great question. I don't know. I feel like I've only heard of it mentioned in, what is it, Bowls Discord? Did I spell it right? Orange on beige. What about just orange on beige? I mean, Keycap sucks. Yeah, I think I've only seen it mentioned. Let me look in Discord real quick. I feel like I may have seen something at some point. But I don't think I've come across it on Keycap. Maybe let's just search up here. Classic orange, DCS classic orange. Oh, that's a nice orange. That's an old set. This does go straight to, oh, that's referencing other stuff. It's funny that Bowl is the first result, but it's like mentioning Gat Laranjas and then some DCS set. But yeah, I don't think it's on here at all yet. Let me, oh yeah, and there's also the Hope. Which is a new TKL that's going to be coming. That's going to be on Novel Keys, but Foraz is the one who's making it, which is an interesting looking forward to me. Excuse me. Still getting over the sick. Anyway, Actually, hold one moment. There we go. Did you see the new Matrix board? I don't know. What is it called? I've been a little bit out of the loop. I've only caught a bit. Pricey board. Well, I don't know if that's the actual price once it's going to go up. Let me see if I could find... Let's see. I think there was... Excuse me. Hope kit pricing. Yeah, it will be pricey. You're right. Like $660. But I'm curious about it. But I'm not going to probably go for it necessarily. What I really want is to be able to grab an F1 this year. Oh, let's see. Not one for Ergo, so just gonna... Oh, okay. Let's see. 2026? Hello, Eisenheim. Welcome. Keyboard giveaway winner. Wow. This is interesting, as I guess as generous as I can be about it. Let's start at the top. Carnival. Okay, it's an Alice, yes. Anyone who purchased any of the following kits is eligible. Okay. Ooh, they do have their sunflower yellow though. Their yellow coating is very, very good. Interesting. Okay. So we got a lot of the usual Matrix style little greebling doodads and whatnot. Wow. Okay. So is this actual, like, mechanism? Or is this purely decorative? Like, this is not an actual gear that turns or something. I think it's so ugly it's bottom mount only. It's $9,900. Just my preference. Don't hate me. No, you're correct. This is hideous. But again, that is my opinion as well. This is very little of the Matrix oeuvre is my vibe. Like I've got into some of their tamer stuff, like the Navi and the Corsa, which are far and away on the tamer end of their visual design language. This is not my speed at all. Okay, so it's lighting on the sides, I guess. Lighting on the back and the little strip on the front. Like the HIBI, outside of that, they've kind of been missing for me lately, yeah. And I'm sure they're... Oh, here we go. They're definitely hitting for a particular demographic, I'm sure. So this is... It's very fascinating, though. But yeah, like, not at all something I would want on my desk. So it's like... really interesting, like, LED stuff embedded in there. Huh. 10th anniversary limited edition. And then a lot of stuff on the bottom with entirely separate CNC'd like PVD piece. Very interesting. It feels like a pinball machine in there a little bit. Looks insane. Yeah. Unnecessary complexity, expensive pricing is always interesting. Yeah. I don't know if I'd say a lot of Matrix stuff. I like it, but it's not always this crazy, but you're not wrong. Yeah. Huh. Oh, and some different little bits. Okay. Okay. And I'm sure this is, you know, magnetic badging, I'm sure. That can be swapped out. If it's anything like their other boards. Huh. Carnival powered by Matrix. We got some more of that kind of stone-washed weight on the metal, which I do like. There was something in the Navi that I did like. I thought that was a cool touch. Interesting. Wow. That was the first thing I looked at when I opened my eyes this morning. Welcome to the world. Here's this thing. Oh, that let me yes. Speaking of looking at horrible things, let's talk about let's talk about all the keycaps. So let's break this down. So we sorted a bunch last year. And so we have some options, and I'm going to see what, I mean, granted we've already been yapping for a half hour, but we'll see. I've got a few boards that I think we might try to like see what we can populate. So the further delineations of stuff. Let's see, I've got this bag. So if you remember, this is the bag that all of them came in. This was the 5-pound bag. This alone is DSA. So all of this is DSA. And there's a lot of stuff in here. Granted, I don't know. This is kind of the shortcut mode, I guess, because it's all uniform profile. So it'd be a little bit easier to flesh something out. So this is DSA. Oh, just wait. No, you were here. You saw some of this isodyne. This is just DSA. Granted, this is DSA that has legends on it. Let's see. You want DSS. This is DSS. This is DSS with legends. Quite a lot. We've got... Or DCS, sorry. Oh, now I mixed up what I was saying. Yeah, DSA, DCS with legends, DCS blanks. And there's a lot. Like, this is a decent collection. This is including a handful of space bars as well. Like these. Yeah, there's a few. So I might end up trying this on the Bolt, since that requires some spacebar action. So these are all DCS blanks. I wondered about that. I actually wanted to see if I could make either a Greg or like a DCS version of panels or something. But there's not enough red or yellow, honestly. There's a lot of, because it's, you know, mostly from more recent sets, so there's a lot of this came from like DCS Rishat or from bowl blanks. Like there's a lot of the gray of bowl blanks in here. And a lot from like the Flex kits and the Row 4 kits and all that kind of stuff. Hello, Frank. Welcome. Happy New Year. We are seeing what we can do with all the random Signature Plastics caps that we sorted. We're going to see how many boards we can make out of it. So there's a lot of DCS blanks. First off, there's a lot of SA space bars that came with it. This is, oh yeah, even itty bitty space bars. These are all SA blanks. If I'm not mistaken, I think. SA Row 3 blanks and space bars. So it could be, you know, uniform SA or just row 3 from a sculpted set. And then a bajillion space bars. Then we've got row 3 SA with legends. In all sorts of various configurations. There's a lot of macrodata refinement in here, as you might expect. Yeah, we didn't get through everything on my last stream, Frank. On my last stream, we were actually did a lot of the sorting, and then I had to further sort into more subcategories. So we got those. What do we got in here? Oh, these were some of my favorites that I set aside that I want to use, including, you know, some of these big point of sale buddies like overage and unscannable. My enter, or maybe it's a shift, I don't remember, from Sport Walker. So I want to use some of those. There's some favorites that I found as we were sorting. What do we got in here? We got sculpted SA blanks. We've got these on top that I kind of set aside because under closer examination, all of these are from SA Black on Black up on top of this lid here. I don't know if this will come across at all. Let's see if this will even attempt to focus on this. Come on. It's like, nah. Let me see if I can find a better option. Come on. No, it's not even going to attempt to. These are all black on black. Yeah, so we got a control. There's a caps lock. There's a backspace. There's a bunch of the F row. This is another control. There's a number, like a numpad 4, a little bitty shift. So all of these are SA Black on Black. I don't have a UV light, unfortunately. Maybe for next time. So I have those that we'll do something with at some point. Underneath, sculpted SA with legends. Frederick, welcome. Happy New Year. So yes, there's a lot. Oh, I love this one. Look at this little calculator. Anyway, so this is all sculpted SA with legends. Then we've got DCS black blanks, including this one, which is double shot, but there's no legend. But yeah, so we could, I don't know if we could potentially try to make, there's even a blank ISO enter, which is cool. We could even potentially make, I don't know how the rows all shake out, but could almost have, could make a small board of just black blanks. Then, these are all just wob. I don't know if there's a full keyboard in here or not, but this is all like DCS wob. Probably left over from intro wob, I'm guessing. But yeah, there's like space bars, or at least one space bar. We got a 6.25 U. And then a bunch of letters and other stuff. So there's that. Then this is all the rejects. So we're not going to do anything with these. These are like absolutely glaring flaws in double shot and everything. So nothing there. And then this is like all the other kinds of keycaps. So these are like a lot of the little like chiclet profile ones that they make, as well as SAP, which is a PBT version of SA. And so that's just kind of all lumped in here because it's a kind of weird mishmash of stuff. So there we go. This ended up being broken down into a lot of different buckets. So what I think I might try to do is this like $500 worth of grab bags. This was one 5-pound grab bag, and I bought it on their Black Friday sale. So it was not expensive. All of this came from one bag, which was inside. It was this bag was what everything was in. So, what do we want to do? I think what I might start with is the Alu Bolt, because it's a 40%. And let's see what we can do with it. So let me move some of these out of the way. And being a 40, I think I will need some of these. Well, I don't know that I'll have the right kind of space bars, because this is the Bolt, if you haven't seen it. By the way, it's a nice Alice-ish 40% from Lazy Designers, and he's going to be running round 2 pretty soon, actually, with a couple different versions. There's going to be one very similar to this in terms of its look, and one that will also have a little kind of CNC kind of perforated grill for an LED bolt, like lightning bolt right here, which is pretty cool. I don't know if there will be any new colors or anything. I haven't kept super close on that, but I'm sure Chris, Key Wrist, will be getting her hands on one before too long. So I'm sure we'll see more of it then. So let's move some of this out of the way. And I might try some blanks on this, actually, because if I take off the legends, I'm not going to type any worse on this than I do already. It being a 40%. Actually, I'm trying to remember what I've got in here right now. So this is MT3 Operator. Oh, I think these are melodies. Halfly on melodies in here. Let me grab a new container to throw some keycaps into. Got a list. Oh, gotta get a grab bag. It's fun. I mean, there's a lot of funky stuff you can find, and oops. I don't know. There's kind of a nice therapeutic nature to the sorting a little bit. I found. And just some really bizarre shit. And like I got, I found a key from one of my biggest missed Holy Grail sets. Like I love Sport Walker. And the only place I've found it still available for purchase, at least the base kit, is not shipping to the United States right now. Which is a bummer. So I always try to keep an eye out for that on market channels on Discord. That and paperwork. Been eyeing one for a long while. Just skipped over my head during Black Friday. Oh, yeah. So let's see. These are... So this is what, like 2.25 U space bars? I don't know. Yeah, these ones are two. These ones are just 2U space bars that came in here. So I'm going to have to find some other kind of key. Bunches. Oh, wait. Oh, nice. So there's one. That could work for a DCS set. These are all 2Us. But that's a 2.25. Itty bitties. 1.75. Didn't get as many DCS space bars. Ooh, that's like a vertical numpad. Yeah, we'll see. Let me get the rest of these off. Oh, that's the end of the music, I guess. I mentioned earlier about not loving MT3, and this is actually one of the last times I've used MT3 was on this, because I was looking for something that had some extra legends to help me out with 40s. But now I wonder if PBS Classic could help me out with that, because it's got a lot of extra layering potential, and it's uniform. Okay, come on, buddy. What kind of stabs do I even have in this? These might be old Durox or something. No, they wouldn't have that wire. I don't know. Wonder when your Mini is coming. Did you get it straight from KBD fans or from a different? Was Divinity selling those too? Okay. Let's see. Let me see what the let me think about what all the spacebar options were here. There were some smaller ones. Weren't there? Probably not small enough. No. Okay. Could also do some uniform SA on this. That might be interesting. At least for the new colors are with the spacebar. Oh, the 6U wire? Did you decide you would want that, like that layout better? It's a bummer that there's not another. You think you would? Sure. Easy to change. Well, easy. Easier than if it had been soldered. Maybe we'll use a... It is a bummer that there's one decent spacebar in the right size. That'd be funny. All right, let me think about... Actually, no, I don't want to do... I think I'd prefer to do some really weird DSA on this because it's uniform and I am worried about getting all the sizes. I need a 6U for the Aggro Mini. I'm wondering if I should just use the Type Plus stabs I got for the Cloud 9 since that apparently comes with a 6U wire. Could you? I think it'd be fun to just throw anything that fits at the keyboard. Oh, with more keys? Yes. Let's see. Yeah, let's do DSA. Let's see what we can get to fit. Because then we can use some of these fun ones that I found. Not some of these giant long ones, unfortunately, but... Oh yeah, some of the stuff I also found was Centered Legend DCS, which was interesting. I still love these damage keys. I threw a couple, I had like 3 or 4 of these, and so I did throw a couple into some of the giveaways that went out after the last stream. Yes, well, they are, granted, I don't know if Lego still does this anymore, but Lego used to be made of ABS plastic. I don't know if that is still true, but at one time it was. Well, now that I'm looking at these, I'm wondering if these will actually fit or not. Some of these are so odd with their stem placement that I'm not 100% sure they will actually work down here for these little buddies. All right, we're changing course again. Back to blanks. I changed my mind. There's just too many. So yeah, let's use some of these flex ones, because this is the correct size. Maybe let's just pour these out. Hello, Fetty. Ooh, nice. It's almost like having one of these nice yellow ones on the bottom row. Not quite. So any of these would work. Or this. Actually got kind of an embarrassment of options here. So now I feel like part of the trick is the banana ones aren't going to fit. Just start throwing some random shit in here. And we'll do like a really bright yellow one over here. Actually, it'd be funny to do like a colorful side and a boring side. Like a more restrained side. So let's see, row 1. So we got some row 1s. These are all row 1s. Oh, colors, colors, colors. So there's row 2, I believe. Excuse me. Row 4. So that would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Or do we want to do 1, 2, 3, 4 since it doesn't really matter what we're doing at this point? Could even throw some of the bananas in here. Oh, that's not quite wide enough. That's also not quite wide enough. Slightly wider than that, don't we? Like a 1.25. They're still making Legos in ABS, some transparent parts made in PC and MABs, flexible parts. Okay, cool. Yeah, because you're right that the sound is very close. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4 just to use up some of these. Oh, wait, that's the boring side. We'll consider brown to be boring. It's a lot of brown, whatever set this came from. And almost all of it is row 1. So maybe we can populate, do some striations. This is row 4. Oh, there's a barred homing key. Some row 1, row 1. It's a lot from the accent kits. Then we'll get a little more nuts with the next one. Maybe we'll do, excuse me, SA or something. unless we use up all our time on this. Some more row fours. We got a nice brown we can put down here. Oh, that's got a weird little sprue hanging off of it, doesn't it? Let's replace it with this one. Row 3. So we're done with row 4 at this point. So I don't need those. Two, row 3. Row 3. Making some kind of weird camouflage. Or like skin tone maps or something. Let's see, that's row 2. One, 4, oh good, there are some more middle row ones. I wasn't actually sure. I feel like as I was sorting through, oh, that one actually doesn't function correctly, which is why it was in the reject bag probably. Its sprue is a little too opinionated. There we go. I do love the sound of DCS. Oh, why did I do that? It's foolish. The question is, will there be a row 1 key that will fit? Almost. Also, that's a weird stem placement. Maybe out of luck on some of these. That's row 2. Oh, that'll work. That is, let me see if it comes in a more boring color. It does. Let's see. Da, 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 da. That's row 3. That's row 3. That's row 4. Don't need that. Let's see if we end up having enough colorful ones over here. May end up needing to borrow a legended key for here. So I should keep looking for row 2. I got row 2 covered. I just need row 3. Row 3, row 3, row 3. Row 4, row 2. I feel pretty good that I've gotten to the point where I can fairly confidently identify row by sight. On a lot of these. There's a row 3. Row 4. There's row 3. Row 3. 1, 4. Let's see. 1, 1, 4. This needs to be ever so slightly wider to go up there. Got this giant one, that doesn't mean no good. Let's see, row 2. Running out of colorful ones faster than I thought I might. So I may have to borrow, because these are row 4s, so I don't want to use those. So maybe we will use some more generic ones here. Wait, that's a row 2. Why did it end up in the other pile? Actually, let's break these up ever so slightly. Maybe I should have done columns. That would have required even more coordination. Row 4, row 1, so row 2, but we need slightly larger. Let's see, do we have, are they mostly this color? That's okay. We'll just get like a cyan thing going down the side here. And that's 4. So this is actually a very similar situation. Put a tiny space bar right there. Nah, that's not gonna work. Just shy of a couple of bits here. So maybe we'll need to borrow from, oh wait, what about the black blanks? Where did those end up? Here they are. I don't know if there would be anything the correct size. Ayo. Oh, that's the wrong row. But, you know, it might not be the worst. Will GMK ever do grab bags? I would love it if they did. I can imagine there's a lot of fun material samples and like tests and stuff. Well, just thinking about like, I don't know if anyone here has backed GMK motif, but Timothy did a post. I think he sent out an email today about like the process of them figuring out the new glitter material. And there's probably a lot of throwaway tests they did, and it'd be cool to have some of those probably. GMK grab bag would go crazy. For real. Let me see what we've got in. We can dip our toes into the legended portion as well. Actually. We can call that one good for now. Look at this monstrosity. One side color, one side plain. But now that I've reacquainted myself with the profiles here, let's try a legended version on a 60%. Are there any updates on if they got samples they were satisfied with? I don't believe he has gotten samples of the newest process yet. Maybe they were scraping the method for a whole... Yeah, yep. Yeah, they basically had to, like, invent a way to do it. Because, the stuff in the plastic for the sparkles and whatever wasn't showing up in dark plastic. The color combo is slapping. Yeah. Unfortunately, we did have to, like... There's a couple... errors here in that just there weren't any blanks that granted I did do 1 2 3 4, whereas it would have been actually 2 3 4 4, but since they were blanks I wanted to go for it anyway, so it's slightly off, but you know, just a first attempt. But let's try. What did I want to try this on? Oh, I think it'd be fun to try this on the June, to do and see if we can actually cover a board with some legended DCS. So let me take these off real quick. And then if need be, I have this on standby, we could borrow some blanks. I don't know that we'll get to it, but I also have a classic TKL. But maybe we can do some SA with that and see how it goes. The current keycap I have on here is Fright Club. As you can see, it's all kind of spooky themed, like stab, chain, trample, freak, curse, mangle. I love that all of the alphas are like using whatever the first letter is. So quit, whack, evil, rip, trap, yell, uh-oh, icky, ooze, all that kind of stuff. So I went with it because the purples look nice together, as well as this color of the HIBI June is called Monster Fuzz. So it seemed appropriate. So I often bring this board out. I mean, I use it periodically regardless, but I also bring it out around Halloween. And these are hyacinths in here currently, which were the first HMX switches I ever got. But they look so good. Granted, the light's not doing it any favors, but the purples of the keycaps, or the switches in the case, go so well together. Before, nobody knew but me, but now you do too. One thing I should have done over the break is actually get back into my stream planning board and figure out my strategy of what I want to do next. Have some ideas. One thing I need to do is I got a bunch of client boards back there that I actually need to go through and catalog what all the parts are that we have available for them. Because the client who sent them to me wasn't totally 100% sure himself, because some of them have been like sitting around for months or years, and he wasn't entirely sure what all he ordered with them at the time, because they've been sitting around unbuilt. So I need to go through and see what all the parts are. So, might do that on the stream. Might be kind of fun. That includes the unicorn, a couple of Geom boards, another HIBI 2. What else? There's a couple of Kais in there, actually. But, I know someone who may be interested in a commission. Is it Jeff? It is. Excellent. Well, anytime I'm around, I mean, you can chat anytime on Slack or anytime I'm in. Happy to do it. I'm also sending more HHKB recommendations to people, or I was doing over the break, because the tofu 60 3.0 came out as well, and there's an HHKB layout on that, and it's very affordable. Granted, I don't know what the front height is, and I know that was his one of his hang-ups with the thermal. So, but that might be an option. Let's see. I just messed up pouring hot water over my noodles and spilled. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. Thank God it's winter. Still, though, I mean, hot water's, especially when you're not expecting it, it's not a picnic anytime. I've had to start pouring hot, like running my hands under a hot faucet after I've been like out shoveling. Granted, not the last couple days because it's been so much warmer. But, ooh, that's a nice enter to go with this. Didn't even realize that was in here. And there's 2 of them. And they both floated up to the top. That's fun. Let's see. So as far as, let me remember. I don't remember if there was a decent 7-use spacebar. Oh, that's not it. In DCS stuff. I don't know that I got a long. I got this one, which was 6.25, so that's not going to work. So I might have to borrow, and this one was 6.25 as well, wasn't it? I might borrow a 7U spacebar from a DCS set and just use it. Here's a cold hands trick. Set hot water. Use lukewarm or cold water to warm up your hands to prevent scalding. What if I like my hands scalded? Lightly braised. Let's actually, since we have this and it's not been opened, we'll use this spacebar for a shot. We'll cheat with a brand new set. Love that you went from needing extra sub-legends to putting blanks on the bolt. Yep. Well, I mean, it's not going to impact my efficacy on typing on that board at all. Let's see. There's a nice shift. Let's see. We won't need either of those. Caps lock, we can keep that in our back pocket. Won't need that. Let's get some letters in the mix. 9. I did almost have, I realized I was sorting them out at the time. I almost had a complete like number alert row in red, but not fully complete, sadly. Let's see. ISO, no. Ooh, would we rather do white on yellow or red on yellow? Maybe I should just get some of this. Not decide on anything yet. Let's see. It's a numpad. We got a little backspace. I'll just throw that in for now. Don't know if we'll need it. Help! I do like that help key a lot. There's also, somewhere in here, there were a bunch of ones with, red ones with like asterisks on them. That was like a weird duplication of the same thing. Woo! That is very bright. Unless you were a chef, no one likes braised hands. Be right back, gotta finish the reset. Alright. Go for it, dude. There's another alt. So this control is too small. That's a fun G. Another help. Don't need an arrow. Don't need function. Maybe I'll just start putting these in as I get them. So let's actually do this shift. And one. Let's see if we can avoid getting the same color right next to each other. Alt and alt. Another 4. Local print. Another asterisk. Ooh, I like that one. Makes me think of Half-Life. Oh yeah, I actually saved one of those out in here, I think. Oh yeah, I should use some of these favorites. Get out of here, Shift. It's sports time. It's sports time down here. Sports! And that means we can also use, I think this is the escape from DCS Good Morning, I want to say. There's also a cool H, which is using the Cherry Legends. A row 1 help. Let's see, what other... It would be fun to throw some centered legend DCS into here and get real wacky. Reach down. Yeah, let's do that. Let's throw a couple of these in here. We'll throw in a... Oh wait, that's not... That is not row 4. Ugh. That's row 3. So, might not need that. Oh yeah, an upside down one. This is row 1, but the legends were done upside down. There were a few of those that I found that I wanted to toss in, which was very fun. Center legend Q. ERTYUI. Upside down alt. Yeah, there's H. But this is like, I think that's row 4. Interesting. Now I'm just mumbling to myself. Y'all don't mind, do you? TY. Interesting that it's mostly in this row for some of these centered legends. DCS weirdos. That was another upside down one. Okay. Back to it. ASDFGH. Put in an O. And K goes here. Now we got a couple of G's. This one's definitely more interesting, I would say. Let's see if we can get a different... Well, nah. We'll go with what we got and see if anything more fascinating crops up. There's an F. A nippled F. Well, this H is the wrong row as well. Maybe that's why it ended up on the chopping block. Uh-oh. I'll get that in a moment. Dropping tools. Ooh. My poor beloved Reggie keycap puller. Actually, oh no, wait, I don't want that. Let's see if we get any little buddies down here. There's a P, very good. Some quotes. Haven't come across other quotes yet. Row 1 remove. Let's see, we don't do stepped caps, so I'll stick with this caps for now. No step, unfortunately. Don't need that. Some more function. Let me just grab a few here and see what letters we can get. Another caps. A little bitty alt. Oh, in that case, maybe I will go with supers, depending on what we can uncover. Another red number. I don't know. Does anyone know what set this is from? It's a row 4 novelty, I guess. But it's like a fun kind of lime set. Maybe, no, that was a different set that somebody showed me. I think it was an essay set that had a bunch of lime on it. But it's really interesting to me. It doesn't work with this layout, unfortunately. Or I would use it immediately. Let's see, we will need a B. There's a 0. SP lime. Don't know that I'm familiar with that one. Oh, you mean SA lime? Yeah. Yeah, that's an SA set. This is DCS. So not that one. Oh yeah, I could use some of these banana boys. Ooh, that's a more interesting backspace. I think I'm just going to go through all these and find the most interesting version of the thing I can find. It looks like a very similar green to SA lime, though, to your point, Eisenheim. So I didn't mean to just completely write off what you were saying. But, oh, that's fun. Charge. I don't remember seeing that one. Da, da, da. That's an interesting caps lock. Is this from Baja? I don't think it's the right color. Maybe that's why it's out here. There's 8. Another G. Don't need it. Don't need it. Don't need it. S. Now those are too similar. Let's see if we can find a different S. Now I feel like I'm strong bad. An S, more different S. Consummate fees. I'm really dating myself now with a Homestar Runner reference. Well, we'll go ahead and put these on, and then if something more interesting comes up for either A's or K's, we can go for it. Another one of those. Another shift. I need a smaller shift at some point. More arrows. Ooh, that's a little super. Good to have, good to have. Hehehe. Don't know what that is, but I liked it. Something about it made me think of a sheep, but I think it's just like some shape. But I think I don't think there's meant to be a triangle at the top. I think that there was a double shot failure at the top, and that's why it ended up in the bag. All right, control, very good. A lot of those. Ooh, there's a more interesting B. We can be different from the space bar. Some alts. Very good. That's too small. We're not doing that. Oh, there's the same L. No, no, no. Another alt. Maybe we'll throw a, if we don't want to end up using big ol' super. Now I'm getting worried we won't be able to cover the letters. We'll have to borrow, we might need to borrow a bunch of blanks for that. Function is shift. It's another K. Must have had a bad run on some of these. Oh, that's a row 4. That is not the correct key. Full size backspace. Ooh, an X, finally. That had a double shot error, but we'll allow it. We need some more letters. Actually, I like this yellow better. Too small. E, hooray. We have an E. Or I could just borrow from the the white on blacks, actually. That's probably what I'll do. Oh, good. We have the shift, the smaller shift. All right, things are looking up. Things are looking up. We've got a T. We've got a the bruh B. Unfortunately, it's a little difficult to read, so I'll just set it there in case I change my mind. Blank. Another shift. Don't need that. There's another 4, so we don't need that. Function. All right, let's switch things up a little bit with our tunes. Let's go with we got 6. Numpad 5, another X. Ooh, a J. Okay. Ditch some of these things I don't think we'll need. Question mark. Hadn't come across another one of those yet. It's a little super. All right, so let's do our supers here. We'll do Alt. And then haven't found the correct size of control much, actually. Unfortunately. Might have to double up on the alts or something. Or end up doing, although I haven't seen little controls either. But we could fudge it. We got some weirdos we could throw in there. 6, another alt. And more of these. Actually, let's just throw these in. These are weird. Why not? We can do whatever we want. Ooh, let's swap this out. W4. Oh yeah, another upside down X. That's actually kind of funny. I'll throw in an upside down X. Where everything was done. It's row 4, so that's correct, but it's... The tooling was done. Oh, there's a small control. Okay. Oh, we do have 2 small controls. Wait. Interesting. Okay, I'm changing my mind. Let's do... Oh wait, we do have some control over the bottom row on this, do we? It's been a long time since I've futzed with these. Let's see, let's do big super, little control, and an alt. See how monstrous we can make this. So let's do alt, control, and the big super. All right, now we can get these out of here. G, F, you know, it's not looking half bad. Hey, we do have a Z. All right. I wasn't sure if we were going to get this side fleshed out or not. Got a barred J. Nah. Nah. Ooh, we got a tab. All right, things are looking up. So we're still a few things shy here. Let's see, don't need any of this. Do we need a 9? We might. Do we need... Yes. Get out of here. Another J, page up, numpad, RN, registered nurse. Oh, that's actually more fun because it's from an international kit or an ISO kit with a pound sterling. Let's do that. F5, that's a numpad 8, another A. All right, we're scraping the bottom now for our letters. Oh, this is a blank. It ended up in the wrong bin, which I'm actually surprised I didn't do a lot more of. It's pretty monstrous. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, there's another blank. There's a 2. Interesting to see the difference in the legends on these. Like, look at the... Let's see if I can get that to focus. Look at the difference in, like, the line weight on these two. They're both double shot. I actually like this thinner gray one. Alt S. Yeah, we have a number 5. And a bunch of stuff I don't need. Too bad that H was the wrong row. Print screen, Alt, and function. Okay, so we do have some gaps here. R, brackets, D, H, C, V, and M. So let's see after a quick cleanup here. Let's see what... I'll do one more pass through the special bag, and then we will see what Wob holds for us. I have a few bags to share. Please say you like essay. This is DCS, yeah. These were DCS blanks for the most part that we did first. On the Alu Bolt, minus this one that had to be legended. And this one is our DCS Legends. Yeah, I've also got a lot of SA as well, y'all. That we're not going to get into on this stream, probably, because it's already 8:08. But we did a lot of yapping at the top. So let's see what Wob holds for us. So I broke those out separately here. And well, I guess we could also look through the abominations. Because these were very glaring, like double shot issues and stuff like that. Or in this case, like big old plastic flange on the side of it and some really weird tooling marks. I went for 3 5-pounders a while back. Yeesh! I only did the 1 5-pounder. And it has been a bit of a trial. In a good way. I did bring it on myself. Let's see. Any letters? There's an extra Z. An O. Don't need those. G, and I didn't need G. These are all too repeated. Although there is like the insides of the double shot layers sometimes that ended up in the mix. For anyone who didn't see last time, which is pretty fun. Actually, what if there was an abomination that would work instead of... No, never mind. The problem with these is that they're mostly all double shot, and that's the problem. Alright. Get out of here. Now... let's see what this may have in store for us as far as our letters go. That we could borrow from. We got a D. Progress. We got a bracket. We got another bracket. Oh, that's the wrong row. This is also the wrong row. No! It's okay, we got more. These are both row 1. That's not going to work. This is row 2, though. So that is correct. Ooh, I forgot about that one. That's fun. Actually, I can put some of these back in here if they are not going to work. This giant F10? Weird. Now I hide them as it's too much work to do anything. Still need a row. Yeah, it's wild that, like, of all the things you get, and just, like, sometimes, like, so many repeats of some things, and then it's just, like, total misses. Well, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate that. No, I already had an N. Don't need that. I already had a T. U? Nope. O. Q. I already got a D. Excuse me. 1.25 F10 must be going as keyword. Yeah, no doubt. There's some really weird stuff in here. Well, let me take a drink. Woo! My throat is not pleased. with all the talking I've been doing. B. There's another big F10. Got a lot of enter keys for some reason. Oh, this is actually not black. This one's a dark gray. Yes, we do have an R. Already had that. Actually, let me. I was just wondering if that is incorrect. Oh, that's right. Okay. Slightly off. Slightly off model. Oh, good. There's an M. All right. CV. Don't know if we'll make it. We'll steal some blanks if we need to. Once again, your music selection is perfect for streaming keyboard stuffs. Well, thanks. It's I actually don't know how to pronounce her name fully. It's either Mia or Maya Folick, who I've really come to enjoy recently. T0 and more T's. I don't need T's. All right. We have exhausted our options.
So, that being the case,
let's pick out some fun blanks to throw in. Yep. So we'll need 2 row 4s. Oh wait, did I make another pass through here? I don't remember if I said I had yet or not. Because if not, we could just throw in some nonsense legends. I've been Shazamming every song coming up instead at this point. He's playing a playlist of the artist. I'm playing an album. So, in a way, a playlist. Oh yeah, there's this one. Let's do that up here. This one see-through. It is the deluxe edition of her newest album, Erotica Veronica. Or Veronica Erotica. Erotica Veronica. That's the one. It came out 4 days ago. I think this G is actually not 100% correct, but that's kind of fun. Oh, there was a centered H, though. I like that one a little bit more, though. There's like 4 Shazams of the album on my notification feed. That's fun. Inquiry? Page down, enter. What about some more row 4 stuff? Get an upside down page. Transfer. It's not the right row. And also, one of my favorite ones that I discovered. Come on, focus. Pag down. Pag down. Some days you just gotta pag down. Thankfully, enter and control our lilac to match the board. Yes, there's some semblance of sanity sort of thrown into the mix. I'll need to do one of these on like a TKL, but I don't think that's going to be happening today. I got to give my voice some rest after this. Let's see, upside down meta, some other weird, an upside down alt. That almost looks like a V. We'll do that there, maybe. And what do we want to put in here? Do I have any more row 4 weirdos here? Row 1. That's a row 4. We'll do alt and meta upside down right there. Mistakes never sounded so good. Would love to see these on a TKL. Yeah. What I'll probably do at some point is try doing the DSA caps I've got. Oh no, this should be here. Since these giant pads are DSA, and I have a bunch of DSA, and it's a little easier to mess with because it's uniform. But that'll have to happen another time. This is more of just an easing back into streaming thing for myself. Ugh, since I go back to work tomorrow. Any 10U USB rate? No. No, I didn't get any Bay or 10U space bars. Unfortunately. But it does allow us to make these sorts of things. Oh, look at how horrible this is. This is wonderful. With a fun mix of centered legends, corner Gorton legends, corner Cherry legends, some novelties, a clear one, some that don't belong. I love this little orange inquiry bag. Here, let me pause this for a second. It's monstrosities we love to type on. That's right. Yeah, honestly, the transparent non-double shot one doesn't sound that different from its double shot neighbors. And then, of course, I definitely went for more marbly when I built this one originally, but I like the sound of DCS better on this than the MT3 that was on it. So this is the Alu Bolt, and it's got Aphelion melodies in it. And I probably should redo the rows on this. It might make it a little bit easier for myself to go 2, 3, 4, 4. But we'll see. Because then at least this would be the correct row. And I've got plenty of row 4s and other stuff like that. What switches on both the boards? I feel like I'm listening to Cherry in the Alice. No, these are Aphelion melodies. Designed by Punk Shoe. This was their first round of them. So they look like this. And they are not made anymore. I got a lot of them at the time. They're very inconsistently lubed, unfortunately. So I've touched up some of them myself. But it will vary from batch to batch. But I like them a lot. They have since, Punk Shoe has since worked with B-Sun on a revamp of these, which are also very good. So they're Melody Redux or Redo. which are also nice. I think he pitched them originally as a linearnt, because it's a nice subtle bump. It's nothing too strong. He also worked with Aphlion on making the runners, which were terrible, unfortunately. By no fault of his. But the lube was so bad. And they also suffered from like kind of chattering and some other problems. Like the lube was so bad. Like this is so over lubed. It was just like oozing out of them. It was so bad. So I actually have I have a bag of them over there. That I've thought about giving away with the caveat of like, hey, you'll need to redo these if you get them to somebody, but I might just throw them away. I don't think Punkshoe has tried to redo those, but I like Punkshoe switches quite a bit, typically, because he's also created like Adderon's Summertimes, Root Beer Floats I like. What else? There's more that I can't remember now. But I like his switches. And I use the melodies in a lot of things. But they're nice in here. And this is with a lot of foam and also a PC plate. So I do want to rebuild this at some point and make it a little bit louder, and then also learn how to properly use a 40. But and since you had asked, I think in here are Sillyworks hyacinths, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So, HMX. In their early days. My Aqua Kings back in the day came with lube all over the inside of the bag like that. Oh. I could picture it. Nasty. Oh. But these are a fun couple little guys. So I do want to take some pictures of these. I'll redo this one first. And maybe even see if I can get some stuff into like columns or something or maybe try to separate some of the colors. Either way, make it more dispersed or more organized on this one. And then yeah, that's fun. I should take this to my co-working space at some point and be like, yeah, I built this new board. What do you think? Like just really earnest and see what people say. Like, that's great. That's beautiful. I worked really hard on this. What do you think? I don't know if they'd be fooled. They've seen all my boards at this point. Please, if you find a lilac blank, put one on there and my OCD suffering. On which one, Eisenheim? Sorry. Like a blank here? Or are you talking about a blank on this one? Oh, on the Alice. Yes, I do want to get it totally blank. And this is also the completely wrong row up here, for what that's worth. So we'll see what I can fish out of there. If anything else, maybe I'll like borrow one from my bowl blanks or something. Anyway, that's a lot of fun. So at some point, we've still got DSA. Still got a lot of DSA. Still got essay. So at some point, I'll throw those onto something. I think I might go for throwing some onto my Proto Yellow Classic TKL, because those big weird point of sale things I think could at least, well, I could only fit one, I guess. Let me grab that bag. Could work right here. Bonk. Just a big ol' overage key I think could be hilarious. Could even throw a weird 2U vertical one on here for some reason. This was a fun stream. Well, thank you so much. I didn't want to do anything too too strenuous to remember how to stream, and also not feeling good and trying to get back into the swing of the new year. But yeah, it's fun to do some silly stuff. Oh, I meant to. I don't think I showed this off, but I've got some soldering projects to do. Let me see. Where did I put those? Ugh, I think I just set them over here. Maybe I showed these off. I honestly can't recall now. Try not to knock down everything. Bumping the camera. Bonk. It is also yellow. It'll fit real nice. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So, one of my first, I showed this off before, my actual first soldering project, which was this, this ornament. But, getting my own kit set up here at home, I'm going to be building a Skillet 60, which was a wonderful gift from my partner for Christmas. So we'll have a nice little solder kit party and build a little 60% keyboard together, which will be fun. It's all packed, just flat packed in here, because it's like basically layers with standoffs, and it's pretty open. So that'll be fun. But you get to install pretty much everything onto the PCB yourself, if I'm not mistaken. Like, actually, let me just open it up. So I'm excited to dig into this. Again, still need to get a fume extractor. I ain't breathing that shit in. What do we got down here? Oh, that's hardware. But it is fun to like dig in more to like the options of solder PCBs. Oop. Come on now. And like the embarrassment of layout options, which of course all of the solder heads know this already. I am a novice. So like loved seeing all this stuff. Of course you can do full ISO. They got, split left to go with that and everything. Split right, split backspace, a bunch of different layout options here on the bottom. Well, 2. But a lot of fun stuff like that. The Mercutio is like that too. You have to solder the diodes and stuff. Yeah. So it's already got some hardware. It's already got a bunch of the stuff already into the PCB, which is helpful. But yeah, pretty cool. I actually meant to look. Oh, it's already even got the LED for the caps lock in there, which is cool. Anyway, gonna build that. Very excited. And there's the rest of the parts. And then a couple other little projects that my partner got for me to practice and have fun with were this, which is a little kit. This is essentially a game of Simon that you can build, and it's got all the bits and the batteries, and do a little handheld like Simon memory game. So we'll build that on stream at some point and solder it and try it out. And then this is like a little game kit. It's essentially Tetris with LEDs. And you build it, it's got the buttons, it's got the displays, it's got like this kind of laser cut acrylic case that it all goes into. Yeah, Pixel Game Boy, I guess is what they call the kit. But it's Tetris, it's LED Tetris. And so that is very exciting. I'm looking forward to that. So we'll definitely be getting some soldering practice in this year. So that's on the docket. So I don't know what we'll do next as far as streaming goes. But maybe cataloging some parts in client boards that have come in and seeing what all we've got, what we may need to get. I think it's the same one Frank also soldered on stream. Yeah, I know he was doing some electronic stuff recently too. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same. So that'll be fun. Get some more practice in the old soldering tools. Oh, why am I doing that? I just like the sound of this one. This is not one that we put together today. I do like the sound of ECS. All right. a lot of yapping, and I gotta go. Who's out there streaming right now? Anybody? Alex. All right, we'll raid Alex. Oh, thank you for following Warfinger71. Good night, everybody. I really appreciate it. Let me send this through. And we will start raiding. I really appreciate it. And we'll be streaming again very soon.